Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And take a moment and greet the people around you and wish each other a good Shabbos. Introduce yourself to the people next to each other. Shabbos. Beautiful. So welcome to Temple Beth Shalom, everyone. We're glad that you're here, and Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to all of you who are here in our chapel, and welcome to all of you that are in the chapel, wherever you find yourself, at home or in your car. We're glad that you can join us on this Shabbat. I'm Robert Davis. I'm one of the rabbis here at the temple, along with Rabbi Gail Pomerantz, Cantor Lisa Siegel. Alan Caves is helping us with music. Vanessa Ressler, our president, will be doing some music as well as helping us with our program later on, and we're glad that everyone can be here. This Shabbat, in addition to celebrating our regular Shabbat, we are blessed to celebrate two of our members, Barbara Gelber and Brielle Mark, who are receiving the Rabbi Harry Joel Kol HaKavod Award, which you'll hear about later. It's a beautiful honor. And a joyous welcome as well to Rabbi Jessica Jacobs, who will be joining us at Temple on July. She'll be joining us at Temple on July 1st, the newest member of our temple at that point. We're really glad that you're here. She's looking for a place to live, right? God bless you. God bless you. This past Monday, a large group gathered in Natick, Massachusetts, for the funeral for Rabbi Harold Kushner. Rabbi Kushner made great contributions to the Jewish world, and while most people know of him because of his powerful book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, tonight I want to share just a few words that Rabbi Kushner wrote about Shabbat. He said, "The Sabbath is a reminder of the simple but profound truth that God made the world and that it is good. When we stop and appreciate the world around us, we reconnect with God and with our spiritual selves. On the Sabbath, we are commanded to stop all creative work and to rest. This is not just a physical rest, but a mental and spiritual rest as well. It is a time to set aside our worries and anxieties, to put aside our ambitions and desires, and to simply be present in the moment. Let us be present in this moment as we welcome Shabbat. And it's my pleasure to invite Brielle and Eitan and Barbara and John to lead us in the kindling of the Shabbat candles and in Kiddush. And I ask you to turn to page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. Page 4.
Vayhi erev vayhi boker yom hashishi.
And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day.
Vayakul hashamayim v'haaretz v'kol tzva'am vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikom melto asher asa vayavrech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vaykadesh oto kivo shabbat mikom melto asher bara Elohim lasot.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron, lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. And as they're celebrating, I'm going to ask all of us to turn to page 6, and let's read together at the bottom of the page. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, and hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Page 16, Shiru Ladonai.
Shiru Ladonai shir chadash, Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom miyom Yeshuato.
Shiru Ladonai shir hadash, Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom miyom Yeshuato.
Sapru vagoyim kevodo,
Bechol hamim nitnotav,
ki gadol Ladonai umehulam meyon.
norahu kol Elohim.
Shiru Ladonai shir, sing it dry.
Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai baruch hu shemo, basru miyom miyom Yeshuato.
Ki chol Elohei ha'anim melilim,
Adonai shamayim asav,
hol v'hadar lefanav.
Os v'tiferet b'mikdasho. Shiru Ladonai shir שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בזרו מיום ליום לישועתו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, יהי רם היבוא מלוא, יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בזרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברוך הוא שמו, בזרו מיום ליום ישועתו.
We continue with Lechado D, page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabe, yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala. Yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabelo. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, ki ishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Yai lai lai, yalla la 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 lecha dodi, yalla la 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 likrat kala, yalla la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabelo.
לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם לסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. יאי לי לי, יאללה לה 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 לך דודי, יאללה לה 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 לקראת כלה, יאללה לה 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Shabbat, pnei Shabbat nekabelo. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובשמחה Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabe, ya la 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 lecha dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabe.
We continue with Baruch Hu, page 28. We remain standing.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamivorach, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach, Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam, 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 Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sharim, uvitfuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem b'rakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai Tzivaot Shemo, El Chai v'Chayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamoriv Aravim.
Page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Pages 34 and 35, we meditate on the oneness of God and on the words of Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod. Please be seated. Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Later on this evening, Brielle and Barbara are going to receive the Kol HaKavod Awards named after Rabbi Harry Jolt. Rabbi Jolt was a rabbi here at our temple until he was almost 98 years old, and a wonderful guy, wonderful rabbi, and great storyteller. So one day, Rabbi Jolt tells the story that he's walking down 41st Street and he sees one of the members of our congregation pushing a little baby carriage. And he stops and he says, baby. She said, oh, Rabbi Jolt, yes, a brand new baby. He says, can I look at the baby? Absolutely. So pulls the blanket back and says, oh, what a beautiful, beautiful baby. And the mother said, yes, but you should see the pictures. We're about to pray Micha Mocha. It's a reminder to stay focused on what's important. Freedom, love, hope, courage, serenity. That's what we need to stay focused on. Not the pictures of what those look like, but the actuality of those values that are so important to us. Let us stay focused not on the pictures, but on life. Micha Mocha, page 40. La la la
Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Micha Mocha, ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha, nehedar b'kodesh, malchutcha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Elianu ve'ameru, ze Elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai la la la, ya la 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 la, yai la la la, ya la 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 la, yai la la la, ya la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la la la.
Page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, לשלום, לשלום, השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום.
והמיתנו שומרינו לחיים ולשלום, ולשלום.
השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו,
השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום,
אדוני
אלוהינו לשלום.
We continue with Hot Tefillah. It begins on page 46. I ask you to please rise.
Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayeh Rav laHoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somer verofech holim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishnei afar, michamocha baal gevurot, umidom melach, melech meimid, umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanat alahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalaluhu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue the prayers between page 52 and 62 silently, or the prayers of our own hearts. We pray silently.
יהיו
יהיו
לרצון
לרצון
אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי וגואלי
Thank you. That was so beautiful. And so our hearts softened by those prayers and this beautiful music, we're going to turn our thoughts to the Mishaberach prayer, the prayer for healing and hope. And so if you are in need of a prayer for healing, whether it's physical or spiritual healing, or you have a loved one who's in need of a prayer, I'd like to invite you to share that name with the congregation so that we might all pray on their behalf. And so as my hand passes over, Kim? Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Alice.
Frederick Friedman, Owen Kikor, Kathy Burwitz, Don Blaustein, Susan Holstein, Fran Epstein, and Michael and Shelley Groff, Martin.
Thank you. And now, having just heard your name, you can pray on behalf of others, Alan. Thank you. Janie? Thank you. So we'll, please. Carol Karp. We're going to turn to page 253 in our prayer books, and as one congregation, pray for healing and hope on behalf of all those who we've named. Mishaberach, that's you, Cantor.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. us, those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We are in this special time period between the holidays of Pesach and Shavuot, where we do something called the counting of the Omer, which is the counting of the 49 days, the 7 weeks plus 1 day between those two holidays, linking them so that we recognize that our freedom gained on Pesach was not simply for the sake of freedom, but freedom for the sake of entering into a covenant with God. And it happens that the instructions for the counting of the Omer are in this week's Torah portion and more. So we're turning to page 278 for the counting of the Omer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer hayom Shaloshim yom shehem arba'a shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 30th day, making 4 weeks and 2 days of the Omer.
And since this is the 30th day, that means in 3 days it is Lag BaOmer, which is a happy festival celebrated in Israel with bonfires and people getting haircuts, because for all this time people haven't cut their hair between Passover and Lag BaOmer. So Tuesday, 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, have yourself a good haircut, an ice cream cone, and a barbecue. We are going to continue on page 282 with the chanting of Aleinu, and I invite you all to please rise. Do we have any children here tonight? No, one child here tonight. Oliver, come on up and open the ark for me, please. Come on, you've got like a few more months before you're 13. All right, you don't have to. Okay, page 282.
L'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, l'atein gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyeh ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'goraleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
I invite you to please be seated. And we turn to page 294 as we prepare ourselves for Kaddish. We think about those members of our congregation and their loved ones who have died in the last 30 days and whose families remain in the shloshim of their mourning. We remember Leora Zuberman, Carol Karzan Mandel, Michael Wagner, Rabbi Harold Kushner, Carla Sternbaum Molinado. We also think of Mark Umlis, who will be laid to rest on Sunday. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be a blessing to you who love them. We also honor the memories this Shabbat of all those whose yahrzeits are observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed in our alcove of remembrance. We think of Sergio Breiterman, Marvin Mike Cooper, Sheldon Dickstein, Richard B. Furlong, Harry Gerson, Leonard Haber, Margarita Kellerman, Alberto Kellerman, Blima Nopke, Jerry Leibowitz, Sidney Loven, Audrey Abel Miranda, my father Herman Pomerantz, Margaret Roth, Ruth Schwartz, Milton Shaw, Arlene Green Verona, Beatrice Ida Weinstein. And we think of all those other yahrzeits that are observed on this Shabbat: Sarah Alschuler, Barbara Amder, Andrew Blesnak, Stanley Bloom, Caroline Cinnamon, Herman Dreyer, Dee Dee England, Josie Halpern, Benjamin Horowitz, Doris Cardaman, Sam Kazanoff, Oscar Lerner, Renee Reaney Meadow, Elias Mankis, Morris Rand, Sam Rosenfield, Louis Ross, Sam Sherris, Harold Tabor, Nettie Unger, Gloria Wax, and Jerome Weinroth. And if there's anybody else in our congregation this evening that's observing a yahrzeit or is in a period of mourning and would like to stand and share a name with us, I invite you to please do, and please stay standing, Mike. Thank you. And please, everybody, rise to join them. As one congregation, we remember the 6 million who perished in the Shoah, the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers, so that we would have a Jewish homeland that just celebrated its 75th birthday. And we also remember all of our American soldiers who died defending our liberties. And we take them into our hearts with our own, as together we praise God with these words. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yamechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'yizman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal. Shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yamru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to all of us and to all people everywhere. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And in just a moment, I'm calling up President of our congregation, Vanessa Ressler, to do one of the great honors of being a president, which is bestowing this Kol HaKavod Award. And I just want to frame it for 1 second in the context of Torah. So this whole section of Leviticus, known as Kedoshim in Hebrew, is devoted to holiness and how we become a holy people. And of course, in Hebrew, Kadosh, Kuf Dalet Shin, has many meanings. One of them is to elevate, to sanctify. And one of the other meanings is to set apart. And these two women who are being honored tonight, Brielle and Barbara, along with Michael and Michael last week, Michael Meltzer and Michael Sveig, have truly set themselves apart and distinguished themselves to elevate and sanctify our congregation by their deeds of holiness. So we are so honored to present the award to both of you, and I call up Vanessa to do that.
Thank you, Rabbi. So, as I mentioned last week during part one of these awards, which we gave to the Menchie Michaels, Michael Spag and Michael Meltzer, the ability to recognize, as Rabbi said, leaders is really a huge perk to this job. And so tonight, we honor these women who have given of their time and beautiful souls in service to our congregation. And so I have to give them a nickname too. Since we had the Menchie Michaels, we have the Benevolent Bees. Barbara Gelber and Brielle Mark. So firstly, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Brielle, who came to us originally back in the early 90s with her parents, then left after college and came back again when she and her husband Eitan joined to start a life as a married couple and raise a family here. Brielle is a mom of two amazing kids, one of whom is here tonight and the other's on the Bestie trip on the way to camp, Charlotte and Oliver. And professionally, Brielle is a top-rated attorney and partner in a local law firm. She's been very active in multiple committees here over the years, though two of her lay leader roles really shine. Firstly, she was the inaugural co-chair of our small groups initiative called Panim al Panim, which means face-to-face, back in 2017, which helped us to launch this deeply important initiative. She's committed to Rabbi Pomerantz's vision of creating deep relationships with one another by having regular and meaningful conversations. She also stepped up in a huge way this year to co-chair our senior cantorial search committee with Larry Hurwitz, who's also here tonight. Unfazed by the short lead time, they together helped us to hire our incoming cantor, Yuval Porat, in a record few months. Brielle has a beautiful way of leading that is understanding but firm, highly organized, and always thoughtful. We are blessed to have such talent here willing to share of their time. Brielle, please come up and say a few words. And then I'd also like to present you with this official award, which says, to Brielle Lerner Mark, for her investment in building our senior clergy team and for creating meaningful connections for our members.
Thank you, Vanessa Mazzles. Thank you. Of course. Thank you. I'm so honored to receive this award. They say if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, if you love your temple, serving as the co-chair of the Cantorial Search Committee is an honor and a gift. Rabbi Jonathan Sachs teaches us that in Judaism, what we possess, we do not own. We merely hold it in trust for God. For me, what I possess is my time, which I believe is being held in trust for our Jewish community. I'm grateful for the opportunity to return some of my time back to Temple Beth Shalom, for a cause that I care about and a place that is so important to our community and is a place that I love. I stand here before you on the shoulders of my dad, Alan Weisberg, who served for many years as Temple Beth Shalom's, on Temple Beth Shalom's Board of Trustees, my mom, Bonnie Lerner, who served on our Temple's Cantorial Search Committee many years ago, and my husband, Eitan Mark, who currently serves as treasurer of our board and is a constant source of inspiration to me. Temple Beth Shalom is special. That doesn't happen by accident. To the clergy and the entire staff of this place, you all worked extremely hard during this search process. Thank you for your dedication. A special thank you to Rabbi Pomerantz for your leadership and guidance and for making Beth Shalom such an easy place to love and such an easy place to want to serve. As I've told you before, I can't say no to you. Thank you to my co-chair, Larry Hurwitz. Larry, I could not have done this without you. You are a great partner, and I am proud to call you a friend. Thank you to the entire search committee, including our president, Vanessa Ressler. Each of you answered the call to serve and said yes. Our timeline was rushed and intense, but you showed up and gave your time, proving your commitment to Beth Shalom once again. To my family, Eitan, Charlotte, and Oliver, thank you for putting up with all of those evening meetings and Zoom interviews, supporting me and enabling me to serve our temple. I love you. Finally, in case you hadn't heard, our search was a great success. I am personally thrilled to have found Cantor Yuval Parat, and I'm looking forward to welcoming him to Temple Beth Shalom in just a few short weeks. And I hope you will all do the same. Shabbat Shalom.
Brielle, thank you so much. Okay, so lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about Barbara Gelber. Barbara's been a member since birth and comes from a kind, generous, and committed family that truly believes in one's power to affect positive change in our community with a big C. Amongst her many leadership roles here, Barbara has in the past served as co-chair of our personnel committee, in addition to taking on various roles within our educational committees. A mother of 2 daughters and a son, a professional recruiter by trade, Barbara has also been absolutely instrumental in the hiring of 2 of our associate and assistant rabbis, Rabbi Loibin and the incoming Rabbi Jacobs, who you got a sneak peek of tonight. This isn't her official welcoming, but we will continue to welcome her. And she will be starting officially July 1st, correct? So I should mention that finding the perfect fit in Rabbi Jacobs actually took 2 hiring cycles and required many long and unanticipated months of work on the part of both Barbara and her co-chair, Suzanne Meltzer, who's here tonight. We are so grateful for Barbara's ability to be honest, clear, kind, flexible yet methodical, and always with a joyful demeanor. In fact, when Rabbi Jacobs was choosing between several job offers, she told Rabbi Pomerantz, and she'll tell us,
that is Barbara's beautiful smile that I couldn't get out of my head, her shining face and welcoming demeanor that made me know I had to say yes.
So thank you, Barbara, for your ambassadorship of Beth Shalom and our values. Barbara, come on up. And yours says, to Barbara Gelber for her consistent and thoughtful devotion to strengthening both our staff and our entire community.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Shabbat Shalom. So I am deeply moved to be one of the recipients of the Rabbi Harry Jolt Kol Havod Award because it's coming from a place that I think is extraordinary. And excuse me, but this is going to be a little bit of a love letter to our synagogue. Temple Beth Shalom is a really special, warm place, existing in a world filled with insanity and uncertainty. Peace exists within these walls, and it's the people front and center, on the sidelines, behind the scenes, they all make a difference. And I could not be in any greater top company than with Brielle Mark and Michael Spag and Michael Meltzer, all amazing community-minded people. So I grew up here at Temple Beth Shalom. I started here as a wee nursery school student and went through the requisite life cycle milestones. When I moved back to Miami Beach after being away for a decade, I rejoined as an adult, and it felt so different. The culture and the institution, well, it had grown up as well. And I embraced this adult version of our temple. Temple was no longer simply a place of worship to me, but it was an opportunity. You see, John and I felt that our young family really needed to feel that inclusiveness, that belonging. So naturally, Madeline started Hebrew school. Not long after, Claudia was running around in Shabbat school, and then Ben was in pre-K, wreaking havoc all over the place. And then we joined a Havurah. We started meeting people and more people. Everything was great. We got so much out of Temple and from Temple. Then something hit me hard right around the time Madeline was getting bat mitzvahed. She had so many community service projects. There was so much going on. I couldn't keep track of it. And I realized she was so obsessed with all of this community service stuff. And I realized that the kids were modeling behavior that they saw here. And I realized that we really had a golden opportunity to make certain that our children would be raised in a community with community-minded giving types. And social justice and caring about our community and beyond, well, that's kind of what we want for our kids. And the culture of involvement in mitzvot is such a prominent piece of the TBS culture in this adult version of our temple. So now, Claudia calls me up and she's volunteering in Alphabet City, at a food bank, and Ben wants to skip class because he wants to go protest something at the state capitol. I have nothing but pride. Yes, our kids are modeling us, but they're also modeling the people that we choose to integrate with. So we have a rock star team of people here, lay people, staff, clergy, visionaries. If you ever want to see something happen here, all you have to do is say something, somebody can think it up, figure it out, and it happens. When I left the Board of Trustees a few years ago, I casually told Vanessa that should she need my professional skills as a recruiter, I would be happy to help with future efforts for new rabbis. And guess what? She called. And then I had the opportunity to work with the ever so dynamic Suzanne Meltzer, and of course our beloved Rabbi Pomerantz, whom I consider my lifelong friend and spiritual leader, and along with a great group of people. So in essence, volunteering here is fun, it's inspiring, and it's just simply good for the soul. I actually want to thank my parents for setting the ultimate example of leadership, of kindness, and a big Lador Vador way. I know a lot of people here probably still remember him and remember them both, I hope so. To my family right here, especially my husband, for putting up with my anxiety over 3 rabbinical searches. Thanks to my kids for just being amazing humans. And my friends and family for being here in person and virtually. Hi, Madeline and Danny. Big shout out to our leadership, Vanessa, Jeff, Rabbi Pomerantz, Rabbi Davis, Canner Siegel, we're gonna miss you. Rabbi Loybin, special place in my heart for her. And of course, Rabbi Jacobs, we're very excited about you joining us, and it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to the future and all that we need to do. Thank you again for this honor, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Brielle and Barbara. Those were such beautiful, touching words. And I'd like to just emblazon them on the walls so everybody hears. We have a little bit of somewhat of a surprise guest, and that is Barbara Gelber's brother, who happens to be the Honorable Mayor Dan Gelber, who I'm going to call up to make some proclamations on behalf of our honorees.
Okay, because why would I let my sister ever be the center of attention? But Brielle, you're still there. No, I first want to, and Brielle, this is for you, so please come up. This is a proclamation from the city of Miami Beach. Now, we didn't use AI to write it. Vanessa really did. So it's got a lot of what Vanessa just said. The only thing she left out was the name of your law firm. If you have any serious IRS issues, Weisberg, Canaan, right here, they'll take care of you. Now, this is a proclamation from the city of Miami Beach. It captures everything Vanessa said, but it doesn't have the ending, which is, whereas the city of Miami Beach congratulates and honors Brielle Mark for her distinguished service and leadership and extends its deepest appreciation for her many contributions to the community. Now therefore do we as mayor and commissioners of the city of Miami Beach hereby proclaim May 5th, 2023 as Brielle Mark Day in the city of Miami Beach. Thank you. Okay. So I hope you exhausted all your applause, because we'd like to just not have any more. Rabbi Jacobs, first of all, welcome. And when you said that my sister is stuck in your head, I knew exactly how you felt for entirely different reasons. I have a proclamation for my sister, which Vanessa had nothing to do with, so I'm going to read it. Okay. It's mostly nice. Come on up, Barbara. Come on. Come on. Be nice. I will be nice. Whereas Barbara Gelber was born on July 21st, 1962 at Mount Sinai Hospital on Miami Beach. A birth not entirely planned, but a birth all were eventually excited about. Whereas despite a slight detour to Washington, D.C., Miami Beach is the only hometown Barbara Gelber has really ever known. And Barbara Gelber has been involved in a multitude of civic and volunteer activities intended to elevate her community. And in addition to her community work, she has been a wonderful mother to Madeline, Claudia, and Ben, and a loving wife to John Barker, a recovering Giants fan. Barbara's also been a good sister to her siblings and their spouses, Judy and Steve, and Dan and Joan, notwithstanding the unrelenting but quite deserved teasing she endured as a baby of the bunch. The Rabbi Harry Jolt Hakavit Award from Temple Beth Shalom is prestigious. It acknowledges outstanding service. She's had an incredible positive impact. I'm going through the rest. It is with great admiration and gratitude that we recognize her, and we would like to, as Mayor and Commissioner of the City of Miami Beach, proclaim May 25th, and it's shared, as Barbara Gelber Day in the City of Miami Beach. So congratulations.
Thank you, Dan. So we have so much for which to be grateful at this service this evening. So we're going to say the words of Shehechianu. And before we do, I'm going to have you stand up if I say something that applies to you, and stay standing. Wait. If you have received the Kol HaKavod Award tonight or are related to somebody who did, please rise. If you have received the Kol HaKavod Award in the past, please rise. If you are a new rabbi at Temple Beth Shalom, please rise. If you are glad to be alive, please rise. So we're going to thank God for all of these blessings and for all of you with these words of Shehechianu, and I invite you to put your arm around your neighbor if you know them and are happy to do that as we chant Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Thank you all. You may be seated as I invite up our first Vice President, Michael Weinberg, to bring greetings from the board and share a few announcements with you all.
Shabbat Shalom, and how lucky am I to wish Mazel Tov to Barbara Gelber and Brielle Mark on receiving the Rabbi Harry Jolt Kol HaKavod Award. It is well deserved. And as the Rabbi said, I'm Mike Weinberg, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Temple Beth Shalom, I am super happy to welcome you all here tonight. So I'd like to just highlight a few of the following. Tomorrow, Saturday, May 6th, we offer a host of Shabbat morning activities beginning at 9:30. a.m. with Torah study, followed by Minyan service at 10:30. On Monday, you can join Mark Baranek for the Israel update at 4 p.m. or 4:45 for his weekly meetup. Beshti will be doing their end-of-the-year dinner on Tuesday at Beni Hana. Please contact Rabbi Loibin for more information. And on Wednesday, from 7 to 9 p.m., the Sisterhood will be joining the Innovative School at Sweet Liberty. Yeah, exactly. Next Friday, we will be having our grade-level Shabbat for grades kindergarten and first grade. Please join us. And finally, please celebrate with us this year's Adult B'nai Mitzvah class service on Saturday, May the 13th, followed by a special Kiddush. Please RSVP to Ariane at tbsmb.org, and, of course, visit tbsmb.org if you want to see a full list of all the activities and know how to participate. Shabbat Shalom.
So we're going to conclude our service this evening with the singing of Adon Olam, which is on page 321. I'm going to invite up our newest rabbi to join me up here, and Rabbi Davis. We're going to all rise. Adon Olam, page 321.
Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra v'yein nasa v'hefzo kol azay melech shemo nigra v'yacharei kiklot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu hayom v'hu hoveh v'hu yiyeh b'tifara v'hu echad ve'en sheni lahamshilo lehachvira v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamizra v'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzor chevli be'et sara v'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi heyom ekra b'yado afkid ruchi be'et tishon ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li ve'lo ira.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a good week to be here. Miss Sharon. Shabbat shalom. I'm at the circa 39. Yeah. I'm looking at apartments, trying to find a place to live. Honestly, we saw everywhere today, so we were supposed to spend 2 days and everything else. I think so. I need to make some decisions. So we'll see. Good.